Hello everybody, Psych with Psych's Wreck Motorstorm RC, aka Motorstorm Radio Controlled Off-Road Racing RC. But no, seriously, it's just called Motorstorm RC. And this is the wreck of the game, the Wombat Darkwood, much like the wreck of Motorstorm Apocalypse. This game is like a arcade celebration of the Motorstorm series. It's just a fun little playful, PG or I guess E-rated version of the game that features a lot of different vehicles from the series, as well as a lot of gimmicky vehicles. Before I show off everything in the game, show off the different things you can do, the playground, which is kind of like the hub world, where offers different challenges you can do, and this is how you unlock certain vehicles, the gimmicky ones, throughout the game. Recreation is just your basic time attack and multiplayer. The festival, which has all the different parts to it. This one's actually DLC, the RC Carnival, as well as this one, the RC Pro-Am. And then you got Apocalypse tracks, Arctic Edge tracks, Pacific Rift tracks, and Monument Valley tracks. And then you have your collection of vehicles, which is divvied up into 8 classes. This is the first game in the series not to feature any rideable vehicles, so no motorcycles, no ATVs, and no snowmobiles. But instead, they replace it with all the different types of vehicle classes throughout the series. And they all function a little bit differently, different acceleration, top speeds, handling, and drifting. There's a lot of drifting involved with this game. So for instance, the muscle cars, which is what the Darkwood is, they are used specifically for drifting events in the festival, where you have to drift X amount of points within X amount of seconds in order to get gold, silver, bronze, yada yada yada. All of these vehicles have super pronounced drifting in them. That's why they're used for those type of events, but they're also super fast on the straightaways. So muscle cars are only used for drift events. You're not going to use them for races or for overtakes where you... is it overtakes? Pursuits, that's what it's called. Where you have to overtake X amount of vehicles in X amount of time in order to get gold, silver, bronze, as well as just your regular races. And time attacks, which is, do the best amount of time in one lap of the track with one specific vehicle that's provided for you. Every event is specified by a vehicle type, but you can use any vehicle within that vehicle type. So just because one of the drift events is exclusive to muscle cars, I can use any of these muscle cars that are available. And like I said before, along with the regular, just normal vehicles, all these are from the other 4 Motorstorm games. Then you also get weird things like a bomb. And technically this is a weird vehicle, even though it's really not that weird. But it's pretty cool. You get a little airplane, hey, and a casket, why the heck not? Actually, all of these vehicles are DLC, and this one is unlockable through the playground. There's different criteria that has to be met in order to unlock these types of vehicles. But anyways, I figure I'll show off some of the different tracks in the game. Even though I'm using a muscle car, so this might be slightly difficult. What's a good, yeah, I guess I'll do this one. And use the Darkwood. So I would go into my experience with the Motorstorm series, but I already did that with, the last video. Now this is going to be super... maybe they don't. Maybe they slightly toned down the drifting for... Oh, no, they do. No, they do not. Oh, goodness. Oh, yeah. Drift Central. Beautiful. Which is appropriate because with, every other game that features a wreck-style vehicle, the drifting in it is just very pronounced compared to other vehicles of the game. And voila, there's a map, and then my best time, and then that little arrow shows off, my best lap around the track, so you can try and beat your own time. Just like that. Let's show off one of the Pacific Rift tracks. What's good? What's a good one? I am not sure. I guess I'll do this one. It has something to do with a downed airplane. Just like Just Cause 2. But no, oh, that's the other point I was gonna make. Much like Motorstorm Apocalypse, the Wombat Darkwood in this game is also DLC. So, but unlike Apocalypse, it's not as big a deal to purchase this one DLC. It's not like it adds that much more to the game as opposed to Apocalypse, where it kind of is more important to do that. That's a bomb. That was a bomb. That was just a. That was like a fat boy, yo, or maybe a little boy. Fat man and little boy. Oh my goodness. Should actually know this history stuff, but oh, look at that. A nose of a plane. So intense. Let's see. Now we're getting to the Arctic Edge level, which I'm excited to show this one off, and I bet you can guess why even before I even get to it. But yeah. I honestly had a lot of fun with Arctic Edge. At this point, I pretty much recorded this video like within 24 hours of putting up the video for Apocalypse, so I haven't. Oh! I'm flipped. Just like the real world. That was a hull of a boat. That was great. You know what's worse than that? Let's actually get onto the boat. Oh goodness. Goo. Shipwrecked. There was a shovel there. Oh, as if it wasn't drifty enough. Now let's just put it on ice. Actually, I don't think there really are physics like that per se. I think there's a slight difference between... Yeah, flip it around. I think there is a slight difference between being on like a sheet of metal versus dirt. I think there are differences like that. But aside from that, it's not really too much difference. What's a good one of the Apocalypse levels? I guess I'll do Park and Ride. Ba-da-ba-ba. I mean, really, there really isn't too much more that I could think of talking about this game. I'll finish showing it off and kind of bid my farewells, because this game doesn't really require a lot of explanation. It's kind of like you can kind of tell what it is before you... Oh, you can kind of tell what it is before you even get into it, and it's very different from the rest of the series, if only for the simple fact of the camera position. Very similar to something like Micro Machines V4. Also, I just jumped like 6 cars. Heck yeah. Complete a lap on that. Yeah, drift down the ramp. I'll show off one of each of the DLC levels. I guess I'll do this one. The RC program has to do with like skate things. Now, not skate as in skateboards, but skate as in like roller skates, which I am not a huge, oh goodness. I am not a huge fan of, never really have been. I've always felt kind of awkward in skate rinks. That's kind of why I don't go there, even though I am a pretty big fan of the 70s in general. But what's awesome is, oh, there's like a quarter pipe here, so you know what? I'm just gonna totally, bust some air and, well, you know what? I made it work, so I don't care. I don't even know why I just did that. I can totally bust some sweet tricks, once I get into a different part of this game. You'll see. Da-da-da-da. And one of the carnival levels, honestly, they kind of blur together. Yeah, I guess I'll do this one. I mean, I just beat this whole game in like within the last 4 or 5 days, so it should be pretty fresh in my memory, but not too much. I like the little RC noises. It's very apropos. I really do like the selection of vehicles in this game. I tend to lean more towards the more conventional ones, like the vehicles that were from other games, as opposed to the gimmicky ones like, hey, you can use a basketball and you can use a shoe and things of that nature. Honestly, like, not really my cup of tea. And speaking of teacups, well, I mean, it's not teacups, it's one of those like octopus things. It's not a lot of fun. Anyway, so that's the different types of levels in the main game. Pardon showing off a vehicle that's not the wreck, but when you start off in the playground, you actually have to get to a section. There's one of each type of vehicle in the playground. You have to go and, you know, find it if you want to use it. So Got the Wombat Darkwood right here. Gonna... Oh, over the... Oh, wait. Even better than that. We'll line this up properly, and... Oh yeah, over the stairs, into the pool. That's what I love about this this playground, this like main area of the level. It's just a freaking skate park. And it's very Tony Hawk-esque, where even the different areas of this place that aren't skate park specific are just... They have like skate ramps in them, so it's very, you know... The skate ramps take over in the way that like the Tony Hawk series will put skate ramps in different places and be like, here, you can, oh, boom, over that fence. Here, you can skate on this thing, which shouldn't have skate ramps in it to begin with, but it does, so have fun with it. If there was one criticism, not even a criticism, it's just kind of more of a hope of this game. See, like where it says Big Air, they should have made a trophy associated with all these little things. Oh yeah, backing up. Can I do a... Yes! Front flip like a pogo to whatever. But if there's one thing I wish they would have done is made a trophy associated with all of those little things like Big Air and... Let's see if I can... Oh, well, I got another Big Air. Ah, still, just so good. I'm gonna try and dunk myself. No, I won't. I just did a channel gap. They should have made a trophy associated with collecting one of each of those, which I think there's... I don't know. There's only like 5 or 6 or so. Oh my goodness, come on. I had like no problem doing this when I had to. Yeah, slam dunk. Great hoop. And then we branch out over here. It's like, ooh, a soccer field. Yeah, you can hit soccer balls into nets and get points and whatever. Let me see if I can do that. Oh, no, that's not going in. That's not going in. Oh my goodness. I'm a just terrible soccer player. Let's see here. There's one really cool thing that they do, which again is another one of these little like bonus point things. Whoosh! Transfer! It's called transfer, for goodness sakes. Oh, you know what? There's actually one more in this initial skate park area. This part is unlocked at the very beginning of the game, and then the other areas actually have to be unlocked through collection of... Oh! I did a 50-50 on the edge of that dumpster. I got me a big old stanky gap, a la Marseille in Pro Skater 2. So like the soccer field and this place, the basketball court, are actually locked at the beginning of the game. You need to get X amount of medals. And the skate park area is also locked, so you have to unlock that too. Let me see if I can get a trophy that is a trophy in this game. Slam dunk, yes! That actually would have gotten you a trophy. There's a trophy associated with basically slam dunking your car in each of the basketball hoops that you can. The red rimmed ones, I should say, because there are a bunch of like those boring black rimmed ones. Well, there really isn't much else to talk about, but I will show off one more of those little bonusy things before I leave. It's kind of a little trek, and again, with things that should have been trophies, this definitely should have been a trophy for achieving this thing right here. It's kind of a little bonus path. Also, and you know, it's pretty nice view, I gotta say. But there's this little trek that goes around like this eastern portion of the level that's to do with all these little like scaffolds and fire escapes and all that sort of stuff, and it's like, this is so cool. They should have had a trophy associated with this, or like I said originally, they should have just had a trophy associated with all of the little bonusy things. They just put them in there just to be like, hey, you should feel good about getting that Big Air, and oh, you did a transfer, yuck yuck yuck. I don't know. It's nice, but to me, it's just not enough. They should have done more. All right, here's the final part, which kind of gets insane. Oh yeah! Oh, Trials Champion. Oh, did I? Oh darn! I thought I was gonna make a goal. I'll make one goal. Gotta make one goal. My only goal right now is to make one goal. Yes! And I bust through the net to secure my victory. But anyways, I suppose I will leave it off here. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time for the next Psych's Wreck.